Peace be upon you. So, God willing, this Sunday is going to be the first day of Ramadan. And just wanted to do a quick podcast about how to calculate the first day and the last day of Ramadan. And also, why is there such a discrepancy amongst Muslims as far as when this day starts and when it ends? So, one of the big misconceptions is that some people believe that you have to physically witness the new moon with your own eyes. And then secondly, that they wait for certain regions. So let's say I'm in North America, but I want to make sure that in Saudi Arabia, they see the new moon. Therefore, I fast according to their timetables as opposed to where I actually reside. And this is contrary to what's in the Quran. In Surah 2, verse 185, it reads, "Those of you who witness this month shall fast therein." And keep in mind, it doesn't say witness the moon or witness, the new moon, the crescent moon, anything of that nature. It specifically says witness the month, meaning that if you see the moon or not, the month is going to change for you. And this corresponds to exactly where you're located. Just like, we pray according to sunrise, sunset, dawn in our location, in our where we reside. We don't follow the timetables of what's going on in Saudi Arabia or any other of these quote-unquote Islamic countries. And Ramadan is no different. In Surah 2, 189, and keep in mind, this is just a couple verses after the verses about Ramadan, it reads, "They ask you about the phases of the moon. Say, they provide a timing device for the people and determine the time of Hajj." And then it uses this Arabic idiom where it says, "Do not enter homes through the back door." And this corresponds to the English idiom of "do not beat around the bush." So it continues, "It is not righteous to beat around the bush. Righteousness is attained by upholding God's commandments, and by being straightforward, you shall observe God that you may succeed." So God is telling us, these individuals who are asking about the phases of the moon, if they're beating around the bush to try to justify, some other commandment other than what's given by God, this isn't righteous behavior. So God tells us exactly, that if we witness this month, it's our obligation to fast, and we know exactly how to calculate Ramadan again, not only in 2019, but every year in the foreseeable future. And the way this is done is that the lunar calendar, the first day of a lunar calendar starts at sunset. And what you do is you can determine when is the new moon. And the new moon for every single person in the entire world happens at the exact same moment. And that's on May 4th, 2019 at 22:45 Greenwich Mean Time. And what we do is we extrapolate that time to what the time corresponds to our time zone. So if you're hypothetically in the West Coast, that's going to correspond to 3:45 p.m. And then if you're in the East Coast, that's 6:45 p.m. And if that time is before sunset of your location, therefore that night is the first night of Ramadan, and the following day is the first day you fast. So if May 4th corresponds to before sunset for where you live, then therefore May 5th is going to be the first day you fast. And if the time corresponds to after sunset to where you live, then the corresponding night is going to be the first night of Ramadan, and the following day is going to be the first day of fasting. So that would be May 6th for those people. And it works the same for the end of Ramadan. So the new moon for the end of Ramadan is June 3rd, 2019, 10:02 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And that corresponds to 3:02 a.m. West Coast time, and then 6:02 a.m. East Coast time. Therefore, that night is going to be the first night of the following month, meaning that day is going to be the last day of Ramadan. So the last day we fast in North America is going to be June 3rd. And again, you take the time, the new moon time on Greenwich Mean Time, you extrapolate that for where you live. And if it's before or after sunset, that's going to tell you when the first day and the last day of Ramadan is. And it's that simple. And again, we can calculate into the foreseeable future when Ramadan is for every single person in the entire world with ease. This thought that, you have to witness this month and this and that is, it's not right. It's not Quranic. And so God willing, let's make sure we fast the right day and we don't extrapolate. And the reason this is so important is because the 27th night of Ramadan is the night of power, the night of destiny. And this night, we stay up, we commemorate. God says it's better than 1,000 months. It reads in Surah 97, it says, "In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, we revealed it in the night of destiny. How awesome is the night of destiny! The night of destiny is better than 1,000 months. The angels and the Spirit descend therein by their Lord's leave to carry out every command. Peaceful it is until the advent of the dawn." So this is a night, it's on the 27th night of Ramadan. And if we miss the first day, if we miscalculate the first day of Ramadan, then we might miss the night of destiny, which God says is better than 1,000 months. And the way I always thought about this is the fact that if you do one prayer, you say one supplication to God, that this is corresponding to doing it as if you were praying to God for 1,000 months, which corresponds to about 83 years. So it's important in that sense that, we uphold God's commandment. We try to follow it the best to our ability. And God willing, we enjoy this month. We grow our souls and we draw closer to God. God willing, I'm going to leave links so you can check for yourself exactly when Ramadan starts and when it ends. And also, if you guys got comments or questions, please hit us up at qurantalk@gmail.com. And until next time, peace and God bless.